In a vast, sun-drenched field, hundreds of trees stood tall and proud. They were the picture of perfection, straight, steady, and unbroken. The land was peaceful, with gentle winds, soft sunlight, and perfectly mild seasons. But right in the middle of this perfect field, there was one strange, lonely tree. It grew twisted and uneven, its trunk scarred and its bark cracked. Its branches bent in the most peculiar directions, reaching out like gnarled fingers. People walking by would often point and whisper that one must have had terrible luck. But the truth, as it often is, was far more complex. Unlike the other trees, this one grew in a spot where the storms always hit the hardest. Every year, violent winds tore at its branches, threatening to rip them from the trunk. Forked lightning would split the sky, and sometimes even its own body. Torrential floods soaked its roots until it was gasping for air. Wild animals, seeking refuge or sharpening their claws, scratched and gouged its bark. And yet, through it all, it never, ever stopped growing. One hot afternoon, a weary traveler stopped to rest, finding a small patch of shade beneath this crooked, battered tree. He was curious, looking around at the pristine forest and then back at this one scarred specimen. He called out to the farmer who owned the land. "Friend," he said, "why does this one tree look so battered and broken while all the others look so perfect?" The old farmer smiled, a knowing glint in his eye. He walked over and patted the tree's rough trunk. "Because this," he said with a quiet confidence, "is the strongest tree in the entire field." The traveler let out a soft, disbelieving laugh. "Strong? It looks like it barely survived." The farmer's smile didn't waver. He simply shook his head. "Exactly. It survived." He then began to explain. The perfect-looking trees, the ones that stood so straight and flawless, actually had shallow, weak roots. Nothing had ever challenged them. They never had to fight for sunlight or brace against a gale. A single, unexpectedly strong wind could send them toppling over, their weak roots pulling right out of the soft earth. But this battered tree? Oh, its roots ran deeper than anyone could possibly imagine. They tunneled down into the darkest, hardest soil, anchoring it to the very core of the earth. This was the kind of soil where only true resilience can grow. Every single scar on its trunk told a story of the storm it refused to surrender to. Every twist in its form showed how it had learned to bend instead of break, adapting to the forces that tried to destroy it. Every uneven branch pointed in the direction it had fought to grow, desperately reaching for the light, even when the world tried to keep it shrouded in darkness. Just a few days later, the sky turned a menacing shade of gray. A colossal storm began to roll across the field. The winds didn't just blow. They howled like hungry wolves. The perfect trees, which had looked so strong moments before, began to shake violently. Their leaves were stripped away in an instant. Then came the terrible sound of cracking wood as some of them snapped and fell, their lifetime of ease leaving them utterly unprepared. But the crooked tree, it stood firm. It swayed and it bent, its branches dancing with the furious wind, but it did not break. It was as if the tree was saying, "I know you. I have met you before." It had been preparing for this very moment its entire life. When the storm finally passed and the sun peeked through the clouds, the field was a scene of devastation. The traveler, who had taken shelter in the farmer's barn, walked out and stared in absolute awe. The ground was littered with fallen giants. And yet, there in the center stood the crooked, scarred tree. He walked towards it, his footsteps slow and reverent. "How?" he whispered to himself. "How did it stay standing?" And then came the twist. The farmer joined him, placing a gentle hand on the tree's wet trunk. He looked at the traveler and said, "Inner strength is built in the seasons no one sees. The storms that tried to break you were actually shaping you." The traveler looked at the tree again, but this time with new eyes. He noticed something he hadn't before. Despite all its scars, despite its twisted form, it was the only tree still casting a shadow. It was the only tree still firmly rooted. It was the only one left standing tall, in its own unique, beautiful way. In that profound moment of silence, he finally understood the truth. People are just like trees. Those who look perfect on the outside, who seem to have it all together, have often never been truly tested. But those who carry scars, those who look a little weathered, a little bent, they have survived battles that others never even knew existed. The moral of this story is a powerful one. True, inner strength doesn't come from easy days and calm weather. It is forged in the heart of the storms that were meant to break you. It's found in the courage to refuse to fall, in the wisdom to bend when life forces you to bend, and in the sheer will to keep growing, even in directions you never expected. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are not something to be hidden or ashamed of. They are medals of honor. They are proof that you are stronger than every single storm you have ever faced. So the next time you look in the mirror and see your own imperfections, your own scars, your own twists and turns, I want you to remember this tree. Stand tall. Your roots run so much deeper than you think. You are a survivor, and that makes you the strongest of all. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire and empower. See you in the next one.